And then we're going to put lava on top of each of these. Like that. Hello and welcome to another episode of Regrowth Reloaded. Okay, so the polls are in, and you guys have requested more technology, which is good. We can do that, so we're going to start on some of that today. But first thing I want to do is let's come into our quest book, and we are going to take a look at, where are we at here? Chapter 6, sorry about that, just trying to find it in here. And we want to do this growth mastery. Having developed such a myriad of seeds, the procession of essence up through the tiers using the various infusion stones can be rather tedious. As such, you've devised a means to condense all 4 stones into one singular master stone, capable of performing the functions of all at once. So we're going to craft the master infusion stone. So let's take a look at that. That is made up of all 4 of our infusion stones, essence dust, all 4 of the essence types, essence of osmium, cobalt, ardite, certus quartz, sulfur, ghast, and wither. Okay, so, and that also takes, the mana pool has to be full in order to do that. So, let's see what we got here. Is it in this one? No, it's in this one here. I've got all of that stuff right here. Let me get this stuff aside. I'll explain these two here to you in a moment. But let's go ahead and grab all of these items. And then we're going to come over to our altar and let's get started on this. Put those on there. And now let's see, we got our infusion stones and the rest of our essences. Go, that, weak, regular, strong, extreme. Okay, this is probably going to take a while, so let me get the stuff I need for this. I'll be right back with you. Alright, let's put this on our altar, get this going, and there we go. We now have the Master Infusion Stone. Let's go ahead and claim our reward on this. And this gives us 5 magical potions. Okay, come back in here. And does this, that was chapter 6, I believe. Looks like it is now complete. Yes. 1 more chapter done. So we now have what looks like 4 of our chapters are done. Fantastic. Now, the Master Infusion Stone works like the other ones, I believe. So let's take a look here. Let's come in, look at uses of it. So yeah, you just use it in place of using the 4 different stones. Does the exact same thing. It's nothing spectacular, but it's a quest that we needed to do. So let me get this put away real quick. So we're going to come down to our area over here. Alright, this is where I have all my essences in here. So we would just put this in here, and then you would just do the same thing. Let's go ahead and grab a stack of this, put this in here, and that would mark it like that. So just go ahead and grab all of those. Alright, go ahead and lock this. Okay, and then we take these, and that would make that one. Go ahead and grab that. Okay, so that marks that one down. Let's go ahead and lock it. I'm going to take these. And that gives us our strong. Mark it. And then we're going to have to get a bunch more. That's not what I want to do. Okay. So we just come through here. We're going to do this real quick. So now I can take these four and craft the one extreme that we get out of that and lock it. So there we go. It's kind of the same as what we were doing before, but we had 4 different stones. Now we only have 1. All right. So I was going to show you in here in my inventory. You see I've got a couple of different things in here. I've got a crossbow and I've got a cutlass. So I'm trying to plan a little bit in advance here for upcoming, stuff like the Wither fight and the Dragon fight, and we also have the Battle of Gaia Guardian and some other stuff. And I wanted something a little bit better. Now, the Terra Blade is good, but you see it only does a 7 attack damage. Now we come over the Cutlass, and you see it does a 22 attack damage. So, okay. So let me kind of explain what went into this. So the Cutlass has a Manulian blade on it, has a paper wide guard, and a Manulian tool rod. And then on top of that, I've added the auto repair with 1 moss. And then we've added sharpness, which is lots and lots of nether quartz, and luck 3, which is tons of lapis lazuli. I also added 2 additional modifiers in there by putting in a block of gold and a diamond. That'll add 1 additional modifier, and then the second one was a notch apple and a block of diamond. So I got this up as high as I could get it to go currently, and this thing is pretty much a one-hit kill. As far as the crossbow, I wanted something that would be fairly robust. So we've got bolts here. I just created some iron bolts, and then those have sharpness on there, so they have a bunch of nether quartz on them. But this one is made up of a blue slime crossbow limb, and then it's got a Manulian body and a flame bow string, and then a paper heavy binder on it, which will give it an extra modifier. So that's why I use paper. And this one also has auto repair 1, and then it's got a haste. It was made up of like 250 redstone put on there. It has a draw speed of 0.35 seconds, so a third of a second roughly. This also had 2 additional modifiers added to it. The same thing, 1 block of gold and a diamond, and then 1 notch apple and a block of diamond, to get that up about as high as I can get that to go currently. All right, so let me get my inventory cleaned up a little bit. I will meet you outside, and we're going to start doing a little bit of work on some technology stuff. Okay, we're out here in our area. I moved a couple of these chests out of the way so that I got a little more room here for our power. I did set up the lasers here. I just extended the power line up, attached the 3 lasers, and put down our assembly table here. Now, the problem I have is these lasers eat a lot of power. I mean a lot of power. Just for me to create a few redstone chipsets pretty much drained all of our power over there at the power station. So we need to work on getting a little bit more power over here if we're going to be using this thing at all, which we're going to have to do. I need to make some gates and things like that, lots of chipsets and things like that, and this thing just eats a lot of power. So first thing I want to do then is I'm going to work on some power creation that's not in the quest book, and that is heat generators. And these are Mekanism things, so let's take a look in here. Heat generators, and they are right, that's resistive heater, there's the heat generator. They're really dirt cheap. 3 iron ingots, 2 blocks of wood, osmium ingot, 2 copper ingots, and a furnace. Now I'm going to make a total of 6 of them. I've already made 5. So let me go ahead and grab this stuff here. And then we're going to come over here and let's put this together real quick. So we've got our heat generator there. And let's go ahead and grab that. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and put this in place. Now, I've already kind of got an area set up of where I want to have this at. And it's going to be out here next to our steam station. As you can see, it looks like this thing is out of steam again. Yeah, this is just crazily going through tons of steam. So I'm gonna, yeah. Anyway, let me show you here. I've got 5 of them down already. And the way these work is they turn heat into power. Now you can either come in here and you can put something in here like a bucket, put some lava in here, fill this up, or you can fill it with coal and it'll burn it and that will generate heat. But we're going to do it a little bit differently here. So let me go ahead and come here. I want to knock this block out here. And the reason for that is we're going to surround these with lava and let the lava generate our power for us. And I need to apologize. I have a cat that wants in the room and I'm not letting him in here. So you might be hearing him in the background. So I need those. I want to finish hooking up my power line here. There we go. And then we're going to come over here. Let me see, how do I want to do this? I got to do this safely. So if I come in here, I'm going to knock this out here. And then I want to take a bucket of lava and I want to put one down here. And put one here. You go make some more lava real quick. Just like that. That'll give us 2 buckets of lava there. Ah, shoot. That's not a crafting station. That's all right. I'm going to put one a bucket of lava here. Put my glass back up. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So that we have hopefully bucket of lava there. 2 more buckets of lava. Probably should have just made a tank and carried it over, but that's all right. Like this. One there. And one there. There we go. All right. Put the glass back. Get some more glass. I'm going to close this area off. Like that. Okay. Now let's make some more lava. I don't need that anymore. Let me go ahead and piece of cobblestone here. And then we're going to put lava on top of each of these. Like that. Like that. So now 5 of the 6 sides are going to be surrounded with lava. Okay, let me do this 2 more times. Those. There. One here. And our last 2. There and one there. So later on, if we want to, we can add another layer of these on top of this and just keep doing the same thing. And these are, as of this moment, generating power for us. It's not a huge amount of power, but it is more than what this thing is outputting at the moment. So let me go ahead and get this shut down, and I'll be right back with you in just a moment. All right, so let's get the next thing we need to do going here, and we're going to kind of get started a bit in some mechanism here. So let's come in here, and we need to go down to chapter 14, which we just opened up not too long ago, How the World Enhances. We're going to come up here to mechanizing. Plate rolling. Let's see. I need to scroll down. With laser assembly, titanium, and plate rolling running, you think it's about time to step up your technological game. Advancing into more mechanized machinery should allow you to increase the efficiency with which you can work towards helping the world recover. That cat's going to drive me nuts today. The first thing you should be looking to invest in would be the Metallurgic Infuser, which should allow you to both produce steel more rapidly as well as start producing some of the more complex circuits you're going to need. So we're going to need to make a Metallurgic Infuser. So let's take a look at this. And this is made up of 4 iron plates, 2 osmium plates, 2 redstone chipsets. Now we got those in a quest. And then a steel casing. Now the steel casing is made up of 4 sheets of titanium, 4 refined steel ingots, and an osmium plate. Now the plates are just, 4 of the ingots put into our rolling machine. So I've already rolled all those out, so we don't have to spend all that time doing all this. So let's come in here and let's get the stuff. We got our iron plates, we got our sheets of titanium, we got our osmium plates, we got our redstone chipsets, and we got our refined steel. So let's come over here and let's take a look at this real quick. So we are making the Metallurgic Infuser. So we need to start first of all with the steel casing. So we got everything for that. Let's pull that down there. Come back in here. Click on that. There we go. We now have a Metallurgic Infuser. So let's take a look at our quest. That gives us 8 titanium ingots and 8 steel ingots. Let's go ahead and claim our reward. And this opens up a few other things here. What's this? Power store, energized machinery. Okay, so these are things that we're going to have to look into. These IMAG seeds, I think, no, we can't do that yet. So let's go ahead and just, let's see if we can put this down here somewhere. I don't know, maybe right here. There we go. So it's already filled with like 8,000 RF, so we are good there. All right, so we need the Metallurgic Infuser for anything that's kind of going forward with Mekanism. It is like the one thing that we need most of all. So next thing I want to do is let's come back into our quest book, and we're going to go into, what chapter is it? Chapter 5, what the world enables. I'm trying to get these closed out if I can. So we got up here this one, which is 42 Wallaby Way. And you guys should know what that reference is for. If not, it's Finding Nemo. Now that you've got access to titanium and natural gas, you think you can work on producing some diving equipment which will make you more mobile than a fish. One of the biggest issues with the previous diving suit that it had a limited range and you could travel from the air pump. Building a large-scale compressor will allow you to fill and carry a tank of air down with you, allowing you to stay underwater for long periods of time without the limitations of the air pump's range. So, I know that this is a multi-part quest here, and we're only going to really be able to do part of it. So let's start off with the first crafting task, which is we need to make 2 air compressor bases, 1 air compressor top, and a scuba tank. So let's take a look at the air compressor base, and that is 4 sheets of aluminum, 2 titanium ingots, and an iron wheel. And iron wheels we've made before. They were just like a half slab surrounded by 4 pieces of iron, and we should have that in here. There's our titanium, our iron wheels, and our titanium ingots. Now remember, this is a double recipe, so we have to do this twice. So let's come back in here. Let's take a look at this. There we go. So shaped crafting. Almost like this, and like that. Those are our compressor bases. Okay, got that. Next we need the air compressor top. Let's take a look at that. That is a cooling component, a titanium battery, a piston, and 3 sheets of aluminum. Okay, so we know how to make a piston already. Cooling component is 3 planks of wood and an iron ingot. Okay, and the other part, the titanium battery, is 4 titanium ingots, 2 redstone, and an iron ingot. So let's come in here and get all of that stuff here. So we got our piston, sheets of aluminum, iron ingot, titanium ingots, redstone, and oak wood planks, and another iron ingot. So cooling piece was this, I think. There we go, that one. Titanium battery was this. There we go. And the other piece, let's look at our quest book again. Okay, so piston, and so we got these three here, piston here, battery here, that thing up there, and that gives us two of those. All right, last thing we need to make in here is our scuba tank. So let's take a look at that, and that is 4 yellow dye and 4 sheets of aluminum. Now if we come over here, we've got 4 sheets of aluminum, 4 yellow dye. So let's go ahead and make this real quick, and that's not in the seed analyzer. Won't help us at all. Like that. There we go. 1 scuba tank. Let's take a look at our quest. Yes, this opens another crafting task, which is going to ask us to make the scuba equipment. So the rest of the equipment is made of neoprene, a strong, warm, and malleable material made using natural gas. A scuba mask will feed air to you from the scuba tank, while the wetsuit will keep you warm, and the flippers providing more motility, I think it's supposed to be mobility, through the water in any direction you want quite easily. So it wants us to make a scuba mask, a wetsuit, and flippers. Now, I know already that I cannot complete all of this because the scuba mask, let's take a look at this, is black and yellow dye and 2 plastic lenses. And the plastic lenses are transparent plastic surrounded by neoprene, and the transparent plastic is made by either putting glass in a tank with natural gas, or in a vat with natural gas, or glass in a vat with ethanol. So I don't want to use up all the natural gas I got, so we're going to go the ethanol route. And in order to do that, we need to mess around with our stuff here, our fermenter and our still, to create ethanol. But what we will work on, so we'll skip that for the moment. The wetsuit is the one that we will be able to do, is all this neoprene. So it is 7 pieces of neoprene will give us that. Neoprene is made up of 4 pearls. Now we got tons of pearls, with 4 ink sacs and a bottle of natural gas, or this one, it says bottle of natural gas here, but those are the ones that we made from the ancient sand. So let me sleep real quick and we'll get started on this. I'll be right back. All right, let's go ahead and get started on this. Let me put away this this thing here. We're probably never going to use it, to be honest, but you know, we got to craft it anyways. So down here I've got the tanks of natural gas we collected. I've got the bottles of natural gas that we also collected. I've got a bunch of pearls. I just grabbed white and some ink sacs. Now this was, let's see if I can remember. Let's look it up real quick. Neoprene. There we go. So we got this one here is the one we're going to use. We're going to use the mariculture bottles of natural gas. So we got enough to do 6 of those, or 3. So that's 6 pieces of neoprene. We got our empty bottles. Yeah, and we want to use that recipe because if you use regular glass bottles, then you wind up with only 1 per recipe, where this one gives you 2. So you definitely want to use this bottle with these bottles here. So let's come back in here, neoprene again. There's 12. That will complete part of it. Let's just see if we can go ahead and do all of this. 18. Yeah, that'll do 2. Okay, so that's 22. Would have to get another tank of natural gas out of the way, which we might need to do. So we can come back in here and we can do the wetsuit. There's the wetsuit, because that was only 7. Let's go ahead and craft that. Now if we look at the scuba mask, we can't do that because we needed to go through all that other stuff, the neoprene, and then, you know, so on and so forth with the clear plastic. And that's something I'm going to have to set up for. And the other thing we need were the flippers. And these we can't do either because they're 2 neoprene, 2 ink sacs, and 2 pieces of hard plastic. Now the hard plastic is 4 limestone in a vat, in 5 buckets of natural gas will give you 1 hard plastic. Or we can do 4 limestone in 10 buckets of ethanol will give you 1 hard plastic. So I've got a setup for this either way if we're going to be doing this using natural gas or ethanol. I'm not prepared to do that part in this episode, but we will hopefully get that finished up in the next episode. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is also not in our quest book, but I want to make what is known as an integration table, which we're going to need with our lasers. And this is going to be necessary for us to make the autarkic gates that we're going to need. So let's take a look. Integration table is right there. And this is made up of a diamond gear, a redstone chipset, a piece of redstone, and 6 titanium ingots. So let's go ahead and grab all that stuff here. So I got my 6 titanium, diamond gear, redstone dust, and a piece and a redstone chipset. So let's come over here, do that, and there's our integration table. Now I'm going to go ahead and just put that here next to this one here. Now I never showed you guys how this actually works. So what you do here in the assembly table is you put in items such as redstone or chipsets or things like that, and this will tell you what it can make from the items that are on this side. So in this case, if I want, let me just go ahead and put 1 redstone in there just to show you. I'm going to make 1 redstone chipset. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and it's going to fire up the lasers. Now they're going to change colors here, and if they get to blue, that means that they have full power. And these things just suck the power down really fast. So as you can see there, it's done, and then when it completes, the chipset will come over here into the chest. So what we need to do is we need to work on things like our gates. So if we come in here and we look at gates, now you remember we gotten basic gates free in one of our quests, and those are made up of a redstone chipset and red pipe wire. And red pipe wire is redstone and iron ingots. So we need to start crafting up a bunch of that stuff. And then once you get your gates, then you need to do other things with them. So in the case, let's come back in here. We look at the gate, and I want to look at autarkic gates. So it's A-U-T-A-R, autarkic gates. And if, just for like a basic gate, autarkic pulsar. This is an emerald ore gate, or it's a one of those basic gates combined with a daylight sensor or pulsating chipset or whatever it is for the type that you're wanting to do. So let's just basic gate. It's the iron and gate. So it's kind of hard to tell what this thing keeps flipping around, but so you got your base types. Will be like an iron gate combined with a chipset in there makes the autarkic gate. So that's something I'm going to have to play around with. I'm going to have to start building up some of these things, such as the red wires, the blue wires, yellow wires, green wires, and all these different wires that are used, and the things and the different chipsets that we need to also create in our basic assembly table. turn that off because we don't need a whole bunch of that stuff. So I'll have to do that between episodes. I don't want to get too much into that right now. But I do want to get some autarkic gates. We need them because I need to set up this here, and I need to, feed stuff into the fermenter and pull out the biomass, put it into the still, combine that with water, whatever it needs to do that's going to create our biofuel that we're going to, or our ethanol that we're going to be using in creating all that other stuff that we need for that scuba suit and anything else going forward. Okay, well that's it for this episode. The next episode I'll find a few more of the tasks that we have in our Mekanism quest line, and we'll get started on some of that. I do want to see if we can get this distillery, or the still and the fermenter hooked together, get that stuff going so that we can also possibly finish up all that stuff that we need to get that scuba suit done, and that should hopefully be all the last quest that we need to do in that particular chapter. So until next time, this is Desert Rat. Have a good one. Goodbye.